Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome once again to one of these introductory videos where we talk about RPG a day, this time for 2026. I know all of you watching this channel are very sharp-eyed, and so you've detected I'm not alone. I'm joined by David F. Chapman, founder of RPG a Day. How you doing, David?
Thank you. Thank you for doing another one of these awesome intro videos. It's always good. And I have to say, thank you again for not only co-hosting, but also coming up with the prompts this year as well. Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure. Hopefully to the pleasure of others and not just their bafflement and confoundment. But we'll see. Well, that's one of the things that this video is about, the things that we're going to do. But to start off, let's talk about the regular stuff. What is RPG a Day? What are we supposed to do?
RPG a Day has always been an initiative to try and get people talking in a positive way about tabletop role-playing games throughout the month of August. It kind of started because I wanted a distraction for August, and also because I couldn't get to Gen Con, and also because people were, there was a lot of bad apples about many years ago, thankfully. Haven't heard much from them recently. And just wanted people talking in a good and positive way about our great hobby. So came up with a load of prompts just to get people talking on a daily basis throughout August, and it has evolved and shaped and become its own huge beast now.
Yes, more than a decade in.
Oh, blimey. But that was
Not,
only like
not that you've gotten
2000,
any
wasn't
older. You've stayed the same, but years have passed for the evil. Yeah. So yeah, positivity and talking about role-playing games. That's the key point.
Mhm.
Sometimes there are written questions, full-form questions that you might answer, or you might take a suggestion from and move in a direction of your own. Sometimes it's single-word prompts. Sometimes it's both. Sometimes there's a map or a random chart. This time, once again, there is some difference to how we're doing things. If you look at the infographic for RPG a Day 2026, you'll see that David has sketched a calendar for us. And there's some hints along the side of something that he's going to get into later. But the layout has somebody's notes, somebody's experience going through the full month of August, all 31 days of August, with a single word prompt. And you could, of course, approach this the usual way. You could take the prompt, take your experience with role-playing games, your interest in role-playing games, merge them together, and talk about some role-playing game topic based on that prompt, or at least inspired by that prompt. If you get stuck on our websites, the Autocratic website or the Casting Shadows blog, you can find full-on, fully articulated questions based on those prompts to push you in a direction or push you away from a direction, hopefully towards some kind of fun answer. We also have some what we're calling filters down the side and across the bottom to help suggest some inspiration as well. During the days of the week, Monday through Sunday, we have that old poem, Monday's child is fair of face, Tuesday's child is full of grace, that sort of stuff, to maybe put some fun and useful constraints on your thoughts to help the creativity. And then for the different weeks of the month, we have other suggestions of things you might be talking about, whether that's gear or companions or that kind of thing. Have I missed anything, David?
No, I think that's about it. Yeah, that sounds great. So yeah, basically just take that inspiration for that one that word or the filters and either blog about it, do a podcast, do a vlog, use it as an art prompt for an illustration, or just a single post on social media that about that and how it's inspired you, and talk about tabletop RPGs in a positive way. But just remember to hashtag everything RPG a day 2020 2026. Yeah.
Right. Wherever you post, whatever you post, with your positive message or your memory or whatever it is that you create, hashtag RPG a day 2026, so other people can find it. Other people can easily share it back and forth. I saw this person did a great illustration, or this other person in Lithuania did an amazing interpretive dance based on the prompt endurance, and you've got to see it. Uh, who knows?
Still waiting for
So
that interpretive dance one. That'd be great.
one of these days, one
One
of these
day.
days it'll happen. So what are you going to do for RPG a day?
Well, I know that when you were initially discussing the prompts, you were talking about how you could use the inspirations for creating characters, and I thought I'd go completely crazy and try and do 31 characters.
Nice.
Um, I've been working on a little game in the background, in the back of my head for a long time, which is it's a magic school type game based on things like the Magicians and Wednesday and with a huge dose of Excalibur thrown in there as well. It's called Hex Education, which I'm currently working on at the moment, um, and uh, yeah, I kind of thought I could make characters as NPCs, because if it's going to be a school environment, there's going to be loads of other people that you interact with. Because uh, I I always had this thing in my head of calling it Grange Hill meets Narnia, and I don't know how many people will get those references. Well, at least one of them anyway. Um, and there's a lot of characters in Grange Hill, so I thought maybe I could populate your class with
Yeah,
some cool NPCs. So I was taking each one of those prompts to create a character. Uh, the game system's tarot card based, hence the illustrations around the outside of the graphic. And it's kind of using a similar system to what I did for Wild. And so I've foolishly been trying to illustrate each of those prompts for uh, for each day. I haven't quite. I'm still working on them at the moment. And then of course there's always that one does that um, drawing directly onto blank tarot cards. I can't really do pencils first, so they didn't come out great. But
yeah,
it's
yeah,
getting me
yeah.
back into drawing, which is great. But then it's creating an image which is based on the word from the prompt, and then I'm going to write up an NPC based on the character that's in that image, and then by the end of it, I'll have 31 NPCs that I can use in the game.
That's fantastic, and certainly is something that a lot of people find useful when trying to get into a new game or a new setting or whatever in the future. The reusability uh, of such an effort is not lost on this audience, I think. Really? A pack of 31 NPCs? Do tell.
And what about you though? I know you've probably got something a lot more involved.
I don't think anybody could have something more involved than drawing 31 of your own tarot cards for different characters. I think I'm taking the easy approach this year. So August has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. And so what I have in mind is to think about these prompts from the perspective of a different game for each week. And I'm not sure yet exactly which order. I think I'm going to wait till the actual inspiration strikes, as I go through the 31 days for which game system I'm going to choose for each week. But, like week 1, we've listed its filter as drive. So which of the games that I'm going to draw from speaks to me very strongly about character drives, right? Where I consider the character from that point of view. Like it might be something like, the world of darkness with your nature and demeanor, the way that used to work, or could be something from a Ubiquity game where similarly you have like an archetype to your personality and you have flaws and these sorts of things, which give shape to how the character presents themselves in play. So I'm thinking about that. Week 2 is intellect, and week 3 is your associates. Week 4 is instinct. Week 5 is emotion, and week 6 is ability. So based on those, I plan on choosing a game, and I'm choosing from some pretty cool games. Like some guy I know put together this very cool tarot deck for a game called Wild. I'm not sure if you know him, but I think you'd like him. And so I'm going to use Wild for
Awesome.
one of the weeks. And so that means I'm setting myself up to make 7 characters from one particular game system per week.
Wow. Cool.
Right.
And yeah, I'll pay you for the advertising later.
I'm going to try and use Vagabonds of Dyfed. And I know
Ooh,
there are
not heard of
people
that.
out there who are familiar with Wales who are going to want to protest the pronunciation of Dyfed. However, the author didn't choose this name based on the pronunciation in Wales, and so it's Dyfed. So there you go. But look,
Ooh,
Square Books.
Square Book.
So I'm going to try that.
I've not heard of that one before. That sounds ace. Cool.
It's kind of interesting. It's from a design perspective, it was an effort to take the author's favored mechanics from the lineage of games that grew up around Powered by the Apocalypse. So World of Dungeons is in there, and Blades in the Dark, Powered by the Apocalypse sort of things, but without things like playbooks. So it's set up to take that approach to play for the purpose of playing old adventure, classic adventure modules that we might find being reproduced by the OSR, or that we might still have in our collections from the 80s when we were D&D players, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna give that a try. I mentioned Ubiquity, and I'm going to dive headfirst with reckless abandon back into probably my favorite Ubiquity game, all for one, Régime Diabolique. And I may or may not be currently working on an edit for something related to this game. But you didn't hear it here. And last, among the ones I know I'm going to use, is Space 1999, a 2D20 game from Modifius based on a very cool science fiction series from long, long ago, from the 70s.
I remember it well.
Yes.
It's good. I like that.
So I'm leaning toward maybe using Space 1999 very, I don't know, in a cliche way for intellect, but I might not, based on my memory of Commander Koenig always being thought insane and then being proven to not have been insane. I may go with instinct or emotion, but we'll see. Anyway, so that's my plan, is to come up with a collection of like pre-generated characters that could be used for this game, all of whom have an inflection brought in by the day of the week. So I make a character for Monday who I'm going to think of in some way as being fair of face. and a character for Friday, right, who works hard for their living, right? So I'm going to interpret the characters that way, and then with that in mind, approach the prompt. All right. So if I were doing instinct on day 20 with promise, right? The background, I'm thinking far to go, right? Which I could interpret in a lot of different ways, like needing to prove themselves, or I don't know, maybe they're traveling at near light speeds out of the solar system inexplicably, and very literally have far to go. Uh, you know, and then I could take the prompt on that day of promise and think about the character that way. Maybe they should have made a promise, or maybe they've broken a promise on purpose or by accident. And, how would this inform how I would approach playing this character? So that's what I have planned.
Awesome. Sounds really, really cool.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I like making characters, so I think this is going to be quite a bit of fun. But to reiterate, it's not necessary to make this into a 31 or however many character creation project for RPG a day. The key point, as always, is to take the inspiration and talk about the things that you love in RPGs, whether that be sharing a cool RPG that you wish more people knew about, or some element of its system, or some cool part of character design, or a great memory with your friends playing it around the table, and that sort of stuff. And definitely, like David's doing, sharing your art. So
Is that pulling a face? Because it's like, oh no, yeah, my art. It's been a
this,
long time.
this chef never enjoys the meal. I remember the pencil I drew that with. I hated that pencil. Anyway, I guess that brings us to the end of the video.
Fantastic. Thank you.
So there's nothing really more to say other than to get ready. The first is coming. We will start seeing posts appearing around the world, often after midnight local time, which means for people who are in North America, you're going to start seeing posts sometime after lunchtime the day before. You're going to start seeing them on the 31st of July. Those people aren't jumping the gun. They might live in a place, well, that is quite literally in your future. So keep an eye out for it and get ready to support those people that, from your perspective, might seem to be a little early. Time zones being what they are in our, global community. So, hashtag RPG a Day 2026, positivity, role-playing games, inspirations, and I look forward to seeing what you share. David?
Yeah, just about sums everything up. Share and enjoy, as they say. Keep it positive, and remember to tag everything so we can spread the love, as they say, and share all your posts as well. And who knows, you might find new friends to follow, new games to play, new groups to join.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of this.
In the years when I've done it on YouTube, I'm still getting people, sending comments or liking videos from way, way, way long ago. So that's cool. That's fun.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you again.
So the only thing left to say is that all those people out there should remain
Stay classy.
Take care, everyone.
Multi-classy.